Good morning, welcome to Up with KREM. It is 6 o'clock and it's Friday, so that means the weekend is officially here. Thomas Patrick is in the Weather Center right now because, Thomas, we had rain. What was it? Gosh, that was yesterday. Yeah. And now we have more rain tomorrow.
More rain tomorrow is on the way. Today is kind of our break in between those rainfall events, but the moisture is certainly lingering in the atmosphere, this time in the form of fog and maybe a little bit of mist. I actually noticed some of it starting to materialize late last night, and it's certainly out there for this morning. We're under dense fog advisories until 11 a.m. across areas of central and eastern Washington. Just all that rain from yesterday has to go somewhere. In this case, it's going into the fog. Reductions in visibility are being seen in Coeur d'Alene. That actually got down to a half mile just a moment ago, just popped back up to a 1 mile visibility reporting. Spokane has actually improved as well, also 2 mile visibility. So it's a little bit more patchy than widespread in terms of that fog, but where it has developed, it is pretty thick. There's your city view over Coeur d'Alene. Doesn't look too bad right there, but obviously some spots on the roadways could certainly fare quite a lot worse. So make sure to use the low beams this morning. And again, sunrise isn't for another hour and a half.
New this morning, students at the University of Idaho are holding a vigil on the 1-year mark of the murder of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogen, and Kaylee Gonsalves. U of I says the vigil will be on Monday, November 13th at 6 p.m. on the administrative lawn. The university is asking vandals across the country to turn on their porch lights from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific time in solidarity. 4 students will speak at the event. Each speaker will represent the 4 students' Greek chapters. As for the trial against the accused murderer, a judge set a new deadline in the case. Prosecutors have to turn over all genetic testing evidence to the court by December 1st. The defense team is worried about how police built a family tree and linked Brian Koberger to DNA on the knife sheath officers found at the house. They say they need the information to get their defense ready for trial, but the prosecution says they did not use the genetic family tree to get any warrants, and they won't be using that specifically as evidence at the trial. Last week, the judge said at least some of the genetic material is likely essential to the defense's case.
It is our position defense has a fundamental misunderstanding of the difference between SNP profiles and traditional DNA comparisons and how that process works.
We are not trying to mislead the court. We have been absolutely clear, and we've relied upon Department of Justice policy in our expectations.
The prosecution said it could take a month to get the FBI documents, as a request has to go through the Department of Justice. At this point, there's no timeline on how long this review may take the judge, and the judge still has not set a trial date. We have an update now on the standoff in Spirit Lake. We know it was a 67-year-old Spirit Lake woman who was part of the shooting and standoff. And officers say she died, but we don't know how. 2 Spirit Lake police officers responded to a mental health call near 5th and Jefferson on Wednesday night. At some point after police got there, at least one of the officers fired their gun. Right now, we don't know if the officer actually shot the woman or what led up to the shooting. After police and deputies surrounded the building, they had an hour-long SWAT standoff and had to evacuate an apartment complex close by. An independent agency will now investigate the shooting. And new this morning, there is a class action lawsuit against Alaska Airlines because an off-duty pilot from Cheney apparently tried to shut off the engines in the middle of a flight. The plane left Everett Sunday, October 22nd, and was headed to San Francisco, but it had to make an emergency landing in Portland. 44-year-old Joseph Emerson was sitting in the cockpit's jump seat when the incident happened. He told investigators he had taken psychedelic mushrooms 2 days before the flight, hadn't slept in over 40 hours, and was going through a mental health crisis. The law firm that filed the class action lawsuit says they want to know why the airline didn't properly screen him before the flight.
What the airlines may have done to try to determine whether he in fact met the criteria that are mandated for pilots. I think the message we're trying to send here is that we're trying to make the skies safer.
The lawsuit also accuses the airline of downplaying how serious the situation was. Emerson does have ties here to the inland Northwest. He graduated from Cheney High School. He pleaded not guilty to all charges. It's 6:05 now. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. It has now been 4 months since a wildfire swept through Winona, Washington. The fire burned part of a local railroad called the Palouse-Cooley City Line. Yesterday, WashDOT actually had a ceremony to reopen the railroad. It's a big part of connecting local agriculture. So because how important it is to the area, WashDOT got the track back up and running quickly. The repairs took less than 2 months. The Parkade, you've probably seen it. It's one of the most recognizable buildings in downtown Spokane, and soon it could actually be part of Spokane's Register of Historic Places. The Spokane Historical Landmarks Commission recommended that it be added to the register. If it is added, the Parkade could be eligible for property tax abatement, facade improvement grants, and special code considerations. Council members should approve this application during Monday night's meeting. November is Native American Heritage Month, and Northern Quest Resort and Casino has events all month long to celebrate. Tomorrow they're hosting the Native Dance and Drum exhibition that's happening from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. It's at the lobby by Windfall and is totally free. And the first ever WWE Super Show is coming to Spokane in January. Tickets go on sale in just a couple of hours now. Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown superstars are going to be here on January 6th. The tickets cost anywhere from $20 to $150, and they go on sale at 10 a.m. on ticketswest.com. That's a look at your morning rush. Well, Monster Jam is officially back here in Spokane, and Brandon T. Jones is live at the Spokane Arena to tell us all about this dirt track racing, stunt driving event. And Brandon, you've got someone with you. Who's that?
Yeah, I got Ashley Sanford with me right here, and she's the driver of the Megalodon. You see, she's got a cool sweater too. I'm like, I wonder how I can get one of those. Maybe I'll ask you more questions about that in a little bit. But
I'll
Ashley,
get you.
How are you feeling this morning?
Hey, good morning. I'm so excited to be here. Actually, this is my rookie season. I started here, and this is my last event of the year, so I am actually really excited to be in Spokane. This is very monumental for me.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal. I didn't even know that. I feel so honored now to be talking with you this morning.
You're so sweet.
Oh my gosh. Well, talk to us about the Megalodon. What about this is special to you?
Oh my gosh, everything. Just look at Megalodon. I mean, I know a 12,000 pound, 1,500 horsepower beast that I get to drive and have so much fun in. And like I mentioned, it is my rookie season, but I do have a motorsports background, and I actually was doing drag racing stuff, very recreational with my family growing up, and now getting to be here is a dream come true in Megalodon, a very sought after, loved, very beloved truck. I mean, for me too, I've always been a fan of Megalodon, so it is an honor, and getting to do this for the Spokane fans. Like I mentioned, my second time this year in my rookie season. This is a big deal for me.
Absolutely, it is a big deal, and I bet you are like a positive representation for so many kids out there who, what is that like when these kids come up to you after the shows and they're like, oh my gosh, it's actually from Megalodon!
Oh, it blows my mind because I remember, and I still feel like I'm that little kid in a sense because I've always been a fan. And so getting to have this platform now where kids look up to you, to me, it's just so exciting knowing that I can inspire hopefully those next generations, whether it's being a Monster Jam driver or anything else you want to be, you go after it, make it happen, because I'm living proof. You can do it.
Yeah. How do you feel about this dirt? This is, it's kind of sticky dirt.
Oh yeah, you know, it's early. This is not prime. I got white shoes on. This is not prime conditions right now, but again, it's very early in the day. We don't have an event until later, and our dirt crew's fantastic, so we'll be ready to go.
Well, I've been fascinated by the dirt, but I'm more fascinated by you, Ashley, and I appreciate you so much.
Thanks.
And this was awesome. I wanted to ask you another question, but I don't think I have enough time, so I'm going to toss it back to you all in the studio, and thank you again. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Oh, love to hear that. 1,500 horsepower, by the way, that's more than the F1 cars, so I bet they could go pretty fast there. Weather conditions this morning quite mild with temperatures in the mid-40s. Had that warm front with all that rainfall, of course, yesterday, and it's going to keep those temperatures aloft during the nighttime hours for a few days to come here. 44 in Spokane with a bit of fog out there. We'll call it patchy fog, but pretty intense where it has formed this morning. That might linger through about 9, 10, or 11 o'clock this morning, and we'll see. Aside from that, a dry day. It's the day in between our next weather system. So we had a ½ an inch of rainfall yesterday. Today, no rainfall, just the fog. Rain is back late tonight and into Saturday morning.